Keepers. Today we welcome Mr. Amine Toualbi, an SU alum who majored in computer science and now works as a software engineer for a company in Redmond, Washington. You may have heard of it. It's called Microsoft.
Hi, my name is Amine Toualbi and I work as a software engineer at Microsoft. I came to SU 4 years ago in April 2016 and graduated a few months back in April 2020 with a Bachelor's of Computer Science. Some of my favorite moments at SU were being a part of the International Student Ambassador. I participated in events such as the International Food Fair and Party on the Hill, which really broadened my horizon and where I met a whole lot of people. I think you should invest everything you can in yourself, whether it's time, your opportunities and all that, to kind of like make yourself as valuable in today's job market. I kind of learned the hard way that today's job market is very competitive and that there's students from all over the world kind of running after the same jobs. So I think that you should like really spend your time on building stuff and making sure that those fit on your resume to kind of make yourself look good and attractive to employers. So for example, what helped me a lot was being invested in student organization, as I said, the International Student Ambassadors, kind of working on side projects during school like computer science. So I was kind of building my own apps on the side after classes, get involved like just building club. I built a club like the Mobile App Development Club, and really meeting everybody you can and kind of learning about everybody. And really all those should help you eventually score an internship and kind of like get experience in your field that will be so much more valuable once you graduate. I was always like kind of targeting big companies because those were my dream companies. I wanted to work on certain products that really impacted millions of people worldwide, and I knew that everybody wanted those jobs in my field. So I needed internships, and I remember applying, for example, to Microsoft, and I didn't hear a response back. So really, you need to like focus, as I said, on what you can put on your resume, whether that's paid or unpaid experience. For me, I got unpaid experience working one summer with a professor at another school, like as an exchange student there on a side project that really was just me working on it, but it was something that went on my experience category on my resume. And for example, when I came back, I took an unpaid position as a tutor for the school where I was kind of helping people learn computer science in like the first classes. One of the main things I would have done differently, knowing what I know now, was be a lot more invested early on my LinkedIn. So I started LinkedIn my sophomore year of college when I was like, hey, like all those people want the same job as me and I'm not really connected to anybody. How am I going to get the right tip to get into the right company? So I started LinkedIn. I started connecting to a lot of people, and I started messaging you, and really getting advice from professionals into my industry on how I could get a job in your company, how I could ace the interview process, how my resume could be made more valuable and interesting to recruiters. And I wish early on in my career I would have focused more on building my personal brand on those platforms and really not being scared of just messaging random people. One thing I wish I would have known about the industry before starting my career was really that you don't need to know everything. Me, I had in mind that if I want to work, for example, at Microsoft, I need to know how the website is built, how the database is built, how the machine learning works. So I needed to like kind of understand everything. While in reality, it's okay not to know everything. It's okay not to be familiar with XYZ technology before starting your job. It's really more about how adaptable you are and how ready you are to learn. So it's kind of funny how I ended up taking the computer science path because my whole life I wanted to be a doctor. That's what I wanted to do. I was ready to take 12 years of my life spending in university and more classes and classes to kind of reach that dream. And I remember my sophomore year, or actually no, junior year, senior year of high school, I just went online and took a few tutorials how to build websites. And I noticed that I really enjoyed understanding how things work, especially since websites are everywhere, technology is everywhere. So that kind of like sparked my love for it. And eventually this developed into really like a career choice that I really considered. And once I came to SUU, I looked into the program and I saw that there are a lot of opportunities after school, and I guess it was just the obvious choice for me. If you're looking into breaking into the technology industry, I suggest you start looking very early. I started preparing during my internship last summer around July 2019, and I had most of my interviews done by September and October 2019. A lot of big tech companies nowadays hire for fresh graduates really like August the priority. That's when they post their job posting, and I suggest you apply as early as possible to get the best shot at getting an interview. Microsoft is a huge company, and there probably are hundreds of teams across the whole company. My team, we own the service called Inventory and Reservation that handles everything that you see on Microsoft.com when you go and browse for, let's say, an Xbox or Surface laptop. So basically everything that says, hey, we have this in stock. You want to personalize something, you want to customize a product, let's see what we can do. And from there until the experience when you check out and you place your reservation, all of that work is handled by the program we work on. Daily, I work with software engineers, a program manager, and an engineering manager. I really love my job, and I'm surprisingly excited every time I open up my computer. Microsoft has been a dream for me forever, and just knowing that my little contributions help the company in some way is very rewarding. I'm really grateful for SUU to provide me the opportunities to pursue my dreams, and I'm really excited and can't wait to see what all of our other T-Birds do. Go T-Birds!
This is the video they're going to show when you're successful.
Thanks, Amine, for sharing your helpful insights from SUU to a super cool career. T-Birds, stay tuned for more career highlights from SUU alumni, and let us at the Career Center know how we can help you in your career journey.